What is up, everybody? Escape211 here. We are on the test server. As you can see, we're looking at the new mech here, Redeemer. All right, so I have him set up at 1 star because I'm on the test server and the AI is still starting super weak. So I left him weak just so I could test it against him. I don't want to talk about him too long, but I did want to bring up a couple things. First of all, if you guys probably already noticed his stat line, he is going to be a max 24 energy mech. His HP class is that of Guardian and Tengu, so really good HP, not quite a tank, but really close, even though he's classified as a scout. His speed is 29 kilometers, and that's the same as like killshot and surge, so the dude is super fast. If you want to get more of a detail of it, you can look at all of it here. The other really cool thing is based on the backtrack, his ability, as you get up to 5, 6 star and then max him out, he will be able to clear off these different status effects that are on him. All right, so even in EMP, it looks like he'll be able to. Now, obviously, I haven't tested any of this out because I have it at 1 star, and I actually plan to do more testing on it, but I wanted to just show you some gameplay of it and talk a little bit about it. So I'm just going to jump into a match against some easy bots, and eventually, as I get the bots up higher and do some testing, maybe with my buddy Ruffles, I'll try to test some of how it deals with those status effects, because I think that's going to be where his ability shines. Quite honestly, as a 24 energy mech, and one that doesn't really do anything too special offensively, he's going to struggle to find a position in hangars, in my opinion. I think this guy, even though he's really fast, unless you're like someone who wants a speed or scout hangar, you're going to pick either killshot or surge, most likely surge, if you want just that role. And then once you get into 24 energy mechs, you're probably going to pick like Stalker or Orion before you pick this guy. That's just what I think. I mean, it just seems that would be the case. At least that's what I would think. You know, his ability to me isn't strong enough to justify a place over those other ones. And I just used his ability there just so you could see it, even though it was kind of like useless. But it does, and it has a long cooldown. It has a 14-second cooldown, and it will actually go back to 10 seconds the last time you used it. So you get to use it some in a battle, and depending on your usage, it can be effective. But I really think how it clears the status effects and all that kind of stuff is really where it's going to shine. Man, I cannot get any kills. They just keep taking my kills away. That's fine. It's actually really hard to get kills with stuff when we're this weak. Whoops. Yeah, I went further than I thought. There we go. Got one there. Oops. This guy cannot hit me. It's nice to my advantage. Yeah, and it's hard when everything is much weaker here too, just in general. Not only for getting kills, but also just like landing my shots, man. I have not used RPGs in a long time, and it shows. I'm pretty bad with them. Doing terrible with them RPGs. Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, when I compare this to your other options when you're at 24 energy, this is not the mech that I think everyone will want to go for. When you have an ability that's mostly defensive that you can't use offensively, it just loses value, in my opinion, and that's kind of the situation this guy is in, because you know, he's going to have limited application. But I can't see where he could be really interesting. He could be one where you could do the hit and run attacks, like I think we talked about before, as a possibility with this guy. But then also, like, if you were running rocket mortars on him when you max him out, you could run in the backfield and then use his ability when someone targets you with mortars, or when they come up on you, then you could run away. So I could see areas where it would be neat to use, but not necessarily anything that I think is like super game changing. And again, it's a long cooldown, so I don't really think his ability is justifiable over those other mechs that just have more usability. I mean, you could get the legendary cooldown, but you're still talking about 10 seconds of a cooldown, which is still pretty long. So my initial thought on this guy is not super great. And not to say that he's bad. I actually think he's pretty balanced given his stat line, but I just don't think the stat line will justify your usage over top of those other 24 energy mechs, Stalker, Surge, and Orion. So if you have those guys going, and then you have, like, I don't know, Panther or something like that, you just start to see how your hangar fills up before this guy can really fit in there. So it really interesting mech, and I think if you're someone who runs like a scout hangar like what I have here that's just really built for speed, it could be a really nice addition to the lineup, but I do think that's a bit more specialized, and his ability overall to me seems too defensive. And like I said, I do want to test it more, but that's my initial thought. You guys can let me know what you think about this mech, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.